of falling out of your jetpack and hurting yourself, maybe even dying, like this person right here. Goodness, there's been 17,741 deaths last year from people falling out of their jetpacks because they did not have the right shit. Oh my goodness, we really need a solution for this. My brain's exploding.
So, if you had any problem like that, we have the solution for you. It's our jetpack suit design, which will help you not have so much of those hard crashes. We are the two engineers, me and my buddy Colln. We made this excellent jetpack suit, which is going to protect you from different stuff like landing dangerously or even
catching on fire from this dangerous jetpack, which can hurt you if you are not using it properly. Now let us show you the design.
And this is our pilot suit design.
Now let's start off with some key components. We have 3 key components of our design. One is
the parachute.
The second one is the sword. The third one is
proximity.
Now Mason's going to talk about parachute first. Let's get it.
Okay, so this is the parachute on the pilot suit, and we are using the parachute to help in case of emergency landings. The parachute creates more surface area so the molecules can create more drag. We create more drag. The drag will help you slow down so you can have a safe landing. We also include a reserve parachute just in case the parachute that you deployed is moving too fast, so we made a reserve parachute which will also deploy and help create more drag so the user can land safely. And now, we'll have Colln explain what sort of thing is.
Another key component of this pilot suit is sorting. Now you may be asking, but Colln, what is sorting? Now hold on, kids. I know. I'll get right to that. So first of all, sorting is going to be one of the very big components of our pilot suit. It's going to be one of the main things in it. So first of all, it's a very squishy material that can absorb impact. It's kind of like if you punch Jello and how it kind of repels back. By this awesome diagram right here, we can see this fist is punching into the sorbet. It absorbs the impact. So when the fist or force hits you, it does not hurt. This can be very, very, very helpful when we're using it with a jetpack, because if you fall off, say, out of the jetpack and you fall, it can absorb the impact and make the landing much nicer. Now Mason will be talking about the proximity pants.
Alright, so as Colln was saying, I will now explain proximity pants. Proximity pants are near the bottom of the pilot suit, and we decided to go with just the pants and not the whole suit because we want it to be a cost efficient, and so we don't have to put lots of money into the suit because it would be way more if we included the upper body. But we decided not to use upper body because we think, or we know, that the jetpack with the exhaust and the ventilation is going to come back at the bottom. So that's where we think it's most needed. And the proximity pants are supposed to help because they are made with like aluminum layers. So when the flames are exhaust or ventilated at the bottom, it creates lots of heat. But then the heat goes on the aluminum, which is able to resist that. So it doesn't melt, and so it doesn't apply to the person's body. It doesn't melt. And so the next component of our suit that comes between is the helmet. And why helps?
Of our suit is the helmet. This helmet would be going on the head. We have its main purpose is to block any debris coming at you. So like anything, because you never know what can happen. Like a bird might fly into you, and also it can stop the wind from going inside of your face. So you can, because if wind comes inside of your face, your eyes can get blurry, and then you cannot see, and then it can crash and burn and die. Another thing is that it helps protect you on impact. So say you are falling out of the sky and then you land in your head, it will probably save your life. It has some key components. So the helmet itself is made out of aluminum. It's a very tough aluminum to make sure that it cannot hurt you. And also it's very light, so then it's not a gigantic block on top of your head. This visor is made out of fiberglass, and it is there so then you can see out of it, but also so then it can give you protection. And this strap down here goes around your chin, and it is meant so then it can keep the helmet in place, or else the helmet will fly off you when you're flying. Oh. Look it, guys. Guys, I'm perfectly fine with my awesome swimsuit suit. I am good and back in every condition. Oh, that is flabbergasting. I'm alive thanks to this very good parachute. Let's go, baby. Fire! Fire! Remember they said stop. Drop. It's not working. Man, I wish I had something that would stop this fire. Help! Can anyone get me fire? Get out of here. Out of here, brother. Fire. With this new proximity suit, I am perfectly fine. No fire. No. Whoa, that right there was the force of this external force bumping me, which is the first law. The first law says that anything that goes in motion has to stay in motion until acted upon like this wall. This is effects of jetpack because we have to counteract this. When you're falling from the sky at very high heights, it would hurt when you fall on the ground. But because of Newton's first law, you're going to have an impact because you're going to bounce back because it's a very hard surface. So when we make a suit, we want to make it so then it can soften the impact, and so then the rider will not be dead, and hopefully not be injured, but we cannot guarantee that.
Whoa! Did you see that different impact? Well, that's the second law of motion, and that states force equals mass times acceleration, which means bigger mass and bigger acceleration equals more force.
But what does this mean for our jetpacks pilots?
Well, I'll explain that. With higher mass in our jetpack, that means there's a higher acceleration as well, and that means there's more force when you hit the ground. And this is bad, so we made our jetpack suit counteract this. Counteract this, we have sorbitane in our suit, like I explained earlier. The sorbitane will help lessen the impact, which is good because we will have lots of force when we hit the ground because there's so much mass and acceleration when the jetpack starts to fall. So the sorbitane will help lessen the impact and make the user have a softer landing. The parachute is supposed to help counteract the second law of motion because the parachute causes the user to have a slow descent, which helps reduce the force that is impacting against the ground.
As you saw by that, my force was pushing against the ground, which lifted me up. This is Newton's third law, which is that every force has an equal and opposite reaction. What this basically means is that say I push against the floor, then I'm going to push up because the force from the floor and of me pushing down on it is bringing me up. This helps us design our jetpack suit because when we think about it, we have to make us counteract this law. When we fall into the ground, we're going to bounce up just the slightest bit, but it's still a good enough amount to hurt us. So when we make this suit, we have to make it soft enough so that it can counteract this, and this is how sorbitane helps it. And when we bounce, it'll lessen the impact and create less of Newton's third law. Adios! Hello, not everything on this jetpack pilot suit can be perfect, even though it's almost near. It's like 99% perfect. One constraint that we have is money. You know, that moolah that you have. This is a constraint because if we want it to be expertise, if we want the pilot suit to be perfecto, it can only work if we pay a lot of money into it. And the only way that if we pay a lot of money into it, then other people are gonna have to pay a lot of money into it to get a good result. This is a big constraint and one of our main reasons why it might not work, but it'll definitely work because it's perfect. Another constraint is mass. This is a constraint because if we have a lot of protective material on it, then it could weigh down and then it will not work as well. As we said before, mass affects it, and the more mass you have, the more force you have bumping into the ground. Adios! By the way, our jetpack suit is only $6,207. You might be like, but Collin, that is a lot. I'm not going to be able to afford that. But if you're going to be able to afford a jetpack, I am pretty sure you can afford this pilot suit. And I think that you would spend $6,207 just to keep your life safe, and it's 100% guaranteed. Adios, P.O.Bulls.
So the way that we found the materials that we wanted for our jetpack is that So for Sorbithin, we wanted to look for the best shock absorber, and Sorbithin is really big on promoting themselves and how they're the best. So we did some research into that and found out how their material is actually really good, because NASA has used it in themselves to deliver something. When they needed a soft material that can absorb lots of shock, they used the Sorbithin to help deliver the object because it's really soft. And for the proximity parents, we found it because we needed to find something that was heat resistant, and so we just looked what like firefighters and volcanologists use, and we figured out they use like proximity suits, and then we searched up the proximity suit, but we also found out that you can just get the pants, which really helped because it was more cost efficient with that way, and we got to use less money with the proximity pants, so it really helped out that way. And yeah, it's obviously the parachute. We needed a parachute, and we found out about because, well, everybody knows what a parachute is by now, and so we wanted to use a parachute to help produce drag, so the user might need it during emergency situations, so they fall slower and they don't die when they hit the ground. And also, we found a reserve parachute because we think it would help produce lots of safety with the regular parachute by itself. Jetpack helps in society, or jetpack suit helps in society because it can help people who need to test with their jetpack, and like if like military training or like in the army, if they need to use a jetpack and they don't have like protection, our suit would be helpful because it helps with the landing and probability that there will be a like a dangerous crash or something, so you can use a parachute. This sort of helps with soft landing as well. We have like proximity pants, so it can help with the fire resistance, which is really helpful for people who need to use a jetpack. So it helps in society because it can help in training in the military, and it can also help for people who just want to use jetpacks for their own use.
Whoa. Now, you might be wondering why ours is better than all the other ones. Well, first of all, ours is so much better than all the other ones. First of all, it only costs $6,207, as I said before, and also, all the other ones, they probably only have cushioning things, while ours is flame resistant. It can protect everything. Also, the other ones is nowhere near as good, because when we designed it, we used such high technologies like Sorbithin, which is proven by places like NASA to be good. Our adversaries won't even stand a chance with us. Now, if you do not buy this, then you really need to go get it. Then you really need to get checked by the doctor. So you better buy this suit.
Oh, dude, keep backing up. I need to get in the frame. Okay. So now that we have explained the reasons of why you should get our jetpack and how it meets the criteria and the constraints, but why, even though with the constraints of why you should buy a jetpack, we think that we have a sufficient amount of reasons, and this is our conclusion of why you should get it and why it's good.
Basically, what he's saying is that you better buy a jetpack pilot suit, or else you will get in trouble.